Wow, okay. That was mesmerizing because I saw what he did with the device, and I want to know more about that.
Yeah, and the visual as well. And
Yeah,
you can
it's
see
very
like
captivating.
it's like wayang, but it's more digital, right?
Yeah.
But let us talk about it first, right?
All right, we will dive deep into the world of sound technology and music and also art. Let's explore a genre that pushes the boundaries of what we think music can be, a genre where the hum of an engine or the crackle of static can become art.
Yes, we are talking about electro acoustic music, where creativity meets experimentation and composers use technology as an instrument. So joining us today in this morning is electro acoustic composer and audiovisual artist Patrick Hartono.
Yes.
Who will share his insight and experience.
I'm
Good morning,
Hartono.
Patrick.
Hi.
You're not my brother. I'm Suhartono.
Yes,
You're
you're
Hartono.
Hartono. So we're siblings,
That's
right?
Suhartono.
From different dimensions.
Yeah.
With the Su in the
It's just
beginning.
different. But okay, we saw that clip and I
Yeah.
was mesmerized because I also study art and it was so artistic.
Yeah.
Now, can you explain more about this? What is it that you did there?
Yeah.
And can you explain what electro
Acoustic.
acoustic
Okay.
is?
I think I will start about what is electroacoustic. That's way easier, so we have something to get to.
Sure,
Okay.
yeah.
So indeed, as you both know, electroacoustic come with two terms actually. It's the merging of two terms, electro and acoustic, which is actually just a term, not a genre. It's a term for a music where the material of the music has been processed through electronic process, and electronic music and electronic process mean in the broader way. Can be used any computational method, can use specific algorithm, AI generative whatsoever. And then after that, the outcome of the sound will diffuse through speaker and become acoustic sound again.
Oh,
Yeah, so
nice.
basically it's just a term to call, there is a music where the sound is being manipulated through any broader method of electronic,
But-
and then diffuse again through speaker and become acoustic.
Acoustic. So you mentioned before, like before we start this discussion, that it's actually developed after the Second World War.
Yes, of course.
So who are the key pioneers of this?
The key pioneers after the Second World War, there are several names. Let's say I would start with the most famous one, Stockhausen. It's from Germany.
Stockhausen.
Yeah, Stockhausen, Ioannis Xenakis. However, during that period, art is not only about music or visual art. They all seen from holistic perspective. So it's also intersect with technology and sciences.
Of course.
Yeah, because basically music, if you consider music use sound, sound is the outcome of specific physical phenomenon. There is a measurement to calculate the sound, which is frequency.
Yeah.
Then indeed it intersect with other disciplines, right?
I see. It's science.
Get it?
It's very
Get it,
scientific.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
yeah.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
when you start consider, okay, we are using sound, and we try to process through electronic procedures, and there actually the momentum where it's begun to collaborate with other discipline.
I see.
But back then, the instrument is very laid back, right? Compared to today.
Yes, indeed. So even the early beginning of electronic music was at a radio station.
Yeah.
Why?
Static
Because during the Second World War, the technology that developed quite advanced is audio communication. They use for spying and
Yeah.
or
yes.
communication.
Yeah. Sending
Yeah.
codes and
Sending
all.
codes. Yep.
Okay.
I remember that
Alright.
one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So indeed, if I'm trying to even simplify, if you know piano, right?
Yeah.
You see, like there is C to C sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, the white to the black one.
White and
Yeah.
the black.
The distance is only half. Okay, where is the rest of the distance? It's only half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, half.
Yeah, it could be half is 0.5. That means also there is a possibility of sound which is only
In between.
Oh, in between.
or
Yeah,
even
yeah.
smaller fraction of that.
Wow.
So composer during that period try to thinking as hard as possible, how can they get out from this system? And one of the outcome is when they decided, okay, we neglected everything and we just use different method and different instrument, which is the outcome of this technology from the Second World War, to find the new sound.
Okay, this is very much interesting because you talk about everything in there. You talk
Yeah.
about science, you talk about experimenting with art, and you talk about so many things,
Yeah.
human interaction, human
Yeah.
connections. Now, I want to know what you did with your
Yeah.
project there.
Yeah, you know, this is a very, very interesting question because that means you asked me to summarize the entire PhD project
Yes.
in one
PhD
minute.
project.
Yes.
Because
In a couple minutes. All right.
just
Try
simplify
your best.
it.
Come on.
Just simplify it.
Okay, so the PhD project actually focuses on the relationship between sound and images in the context of music.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the way I try to conceptualize the relationship between sound and images during the performance is by analyzing the movement of shadow puppet from Indonesia.
Okay.
Why? Because in shadow puppet performance, again, I am not a ethnomusicologist or having a traditional music background. I'm just inspired by that. But in a shadow puppet, when the puppeteers or dalang start to
Play with their
play
Play and tell
with
the
the
story,
puppet,
yeah.
there is two elements there. The visual, which is the puppet,
and the sound.
the sound from the gamelan, and also the narrate.
Yeah.
So what I do during the PhD research is I'm using a specific method of machine learning to analyze the movement of shadow puppet and create a specific program which also use machine learning, which in this case I used the one from Google. It was the early development, media pipe, to capture my hand. So as my hand move,
Okay.
as
The
my hand
image
move,
move.
yes, all the data captured in a fancy way, I would say 6-dimensional data from my hand will automatically generate sound and visual at the same time.
Wow.
Like every little movement that you
Yes.
made over there
Yeah.
is actually made different
Yeah.
sounds.
Yes.
Wow. I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine the experience of
Yeah.
being there.
Yes. Sure.
Wow. So what did you aim for, and what was you have audiences, right?
Yes.
There. What are the feedbacks when they saw the?
That's actually very confusing because honestly,
Because people normally compare with traditional music or conventional music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something actually I need to clarify also. My field is not lies into more commercial way.
Yes, of
We are
course,
more
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
research
Yeah.
scientific about music.
experimenting, yeah.
So indeed, it's always very specific and segmented.
Yeah.
So the audience sometimes just my friend or other fellow
Yeah,
researcher.
yeah.
So what we discuss is mostly about how I can conceptualize the idea using the technology, or we merely just focus on technological part, like what algorithm I use, what
Okay.
method I use, etc., etc.
So what kind of routine do you do before the show started? Do you actually educate people to actually at least begin to know first?
Depend the places actually, depend the
Okay.
venue. Indeed, in Southeast Asia region, I'm not counting Hong Kong, Korea. Korea is no longer, Korea is not Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
but I'm not, let's say in Asia context, I'm not counting Singapore, not Singapore,
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong,
Kong.
China, and Korea, Japan.
Okay.
No, they are different.
Okay.
Okay, I'm counting like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand a bit. Thailand more developed. Indeed, I need to give somehow a brief understanding or just
Okay.
information about that. But if I go to the audience more into UK area or state or Germany, then just go.
They understand.
Yeah, because it's
Easily.
normality there.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
Yeah.
So what is it that you want to strive for? What is it that you aim for? You know, things like this, it sometimes can be used as a trigger for all the other artists
Yes.
out there.
Yes.
So what is it that you want them to grasp from your experiment?
I find that it's a bit egoistic if I have a willingness someone to appreciate my work. So it's always open interpretation. But in terms of my artistic practice, my goal is always how to explore or bridging between the art and technology. And that's why in my daily routine, because I'm actually working, I'm a lecturer at University of London, Goldsmith University of London, I mostly teach the application of generative AI in sound and music, sound and visual. Yeah.
Since you mentioned AI, because you before this you mentioned about you used the early stage of machine learning back then. But right now, what kind of tools or AI tools do you use?
We train our own model.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Previous segment, you discussed about this new large language model released by Alibaba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't tried that one yet. But soon, once I return to London, I will try it soon. But what we do mostly in daily routine, if I don't have teaching schedule, I always experiment with our own method of machine learning.
Okay.
So we train our own neural network, we prepare our own data, then we do experiment.
I see. So what is it like for you? How do you see the future of the music world through all these AIs and technology advancements?
Which context, Indonesia or abroad?
I think Indonesia.
Indonesia first.
Indonesia first. Indonesia first. Because we have so many great musicians, we have so many great artists
And
here.
we're into AI as well right now.
How do you see it? Do you have any
If
forecast?
we believe that we are human and we believe that human is creative, then just make something that AI cannot do.
Okay. But with the help of
Yeah, we get that.
Depend. So it's really depend. If you believe that human is creative, we are human, the sense of humanity, then just make something that AI cannot do.
AI just tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. All right. So can
We
you...
make AI anyway.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Human makes AI. So from the scratch,
Yeah.
how do you develop this into one product, for
Piece,
example?
yeah.
One piece.
Yeah. Depend the piece itself, depend the idea. For example, if I specifically create audiovisual like that,
Yeah.
I will first do research, and the research will be developed into two different areas, technical and conceptual. In technical, I will try to find specific technology that's required to manifest the conceptual idea, and conceptual idea will always progress based on technology that I find.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Now we also want to know, how does it intersect with other fields? You talk
Yes.
about music and
Yes.
the form of
Yes.
sound. How does it intersect with any other arts,
Yes.
like visual arts? and
Okay,
also-
let me put like this. If you use commercial music software, you basically directly stuck into their aesthetic, right? Because you're using it. Yeah. If you just use keyboard, okay, you basically stuck with their sound, with their aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what we are trying to do, we try to get out from there, and therefore we need to build our own tools. To build our own tools, meaning you need to program everything by yourself.
Okay.
And therefore we learn programming, we learn signal processing, we learn mathematics that required to build
Wow.
everything by ourselves. And therefore, people who survive in this field, I also confused why I survived so far. and I even have problem to explain to my father and mother-in-law about what I'm actually doing.
But again, looking at the market right now, I know
Yeah.
you mentioned about Indonesia or international.
Yeah.
I think international market is more into understanding about this type
Yeah.
of music,
Yeah.
right? But if you see it in the future, how do you see the future for this type of electro acoustic?
Where, again,
Internationally, yeah.
The commercial application has been everywhere. For example, sound design in movie,
Yeah.
they literally use the same technique that we developed in the beginning era of this field. But the next era would be, I would say, AI-assisted era.
Oh, okay.
So,
Assisted.
yeah, assisted, not generative entirely, because we tried many technology, and then the outcome still missing in a simple way the soul. You get it?
Yeah.
So I will argue something could be considered as AI-assisted era.
All right.
AI assist
Yeah,
era.
assisted is different than generative,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Generative, you fully use that one to
Yeah,
generate
yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Assisted, you use that tools to create something.
To create something
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
creativity
Yeah.
as well.
Because at the
Okay.
university, I also taught my student how to use ChatGPT. Because
Okay.
you need to understand ChatGPT, you need to know how to
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
elaborate
yeah.
through words what you want,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And you need to understand structurally what you want to achieve.
Yeah, that's true. So many things to learn.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, Mas Patrick,
Yeah.
maybe for my last question, how do you, you talk to the young audience that this field is actually
Yeah.
interesting, and you need to learn more about
Yeah.
this, and you need to develop
Yeah.
yourself into this
Yeah.
form
Interesting.
of art.
So guys, music is not only entertainment.
It's not only entertainment.
Remember,
It's also science-based.
yes, there should be no definite definition about music.
Okay.
There should not be.
Yes,
All right.
because if there is definite, absolute definition of music, all the music schools would close.
Okay.
Because they will just do the same thing, and there will be no more creativity.
That's
okay.
true, though.
All right.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since we play this part of the screen,
that
can you
one is
explain that?
interesting, yeah.
Because you use visual to add and to give added value
Yes.
in the performance, right?
The concept of added value. So here's the
Yeah.
thing. If you wonder why I also do visual, basically everything is just a signal. Basically everything you can do with programming. So once you know the fundamental concept of digital signal processing, you can do everything. So I always just get bored with sound. I'm serious. Most of us who doing visual because we just get bored with sound. And sound require many mathematics. Visual sometimes with only 10 lines of codes, I can make something mesmerizing.
All right.
You get it?
Yes.
Yeah, so and then the added value, what I'm trying to achieve is a perceptual moment where the existence of sound will added value when you're listening, and then the existence of the existence of sound will added value when you perceive the visual information. So there is equality role between sound and visual. Most in movie production, sound is become something to give identity of certain visual object.
Yeah.
Or if you go to more, let's say, popular DJ performance, VJ is to visualizing the music. But what I'm trying to achieve is the added value. Is this perceptual situation where both of them are equals.
So this type of music can truly enjoyed by performance, right? So people can see both visual and the sound as well.
So indeed, it's something very interesting because since the emerging of this field, we try to escape from the normality of aesthetic. And most of people ask me, like, how can I enjoy then? How can I listen then to this music? And then my answer is always like this. It's because every time you try to listen to music, you come with expectation about what is music.
Yeah.
You never come to just listen first. Because when you start to listen, you need to neglect all the expectation.
That's true.
And just listen.
And experience the
Yes.
sound.
Yes.
I think that's what we often forget. Experience the sound, listen to the sound, and just feel the sound.
Before you experience, you need to just listen first. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I cannot wait to watch your performance. The next one. Let us know. All right, now let's take a break. When we return, we'll have more interesting stories just for you. So stay tuned only on C Morning Show.